Hi guys, this is a quick update video to let you know where things are with Chop to the Top. Last time you saw me working on a car on Chop to the Top, it was the 350Z Turbo. That car is finished and it is still for sale. However, 2 national lockdowns and Christmas around the corner have slowed things a little, so cash buyers are hard to find. That doesn't mean it's not for sale. The car is ready to go, it is advertised, but apart from wanting to sell it, I would also accept swaps on it. So, although I haven't had any cash buyers come forward, I'm not surprised with everything that's been going on, I have had several swap offers. Some of these are better than others, but ultimately none of them have been right for me. You have to remember, a swap for me has to show me something that I can add value to and continue to move forward with in the series. I'll give you some examples of what I've been offered and maybe we can discuss it in the comments and see what you think. Have I made the right decision to reject them? Should I have gone for them? Etc, etc. So I have been offered several vehicles in swap, but for one reason or another, these vehicles haven't been right for me. As I say, I need to make sure I'm bringing something into the stable that I can add value to, and when I come to sell it or trade out of it, it'll be worth more than what I had before. So in this case, the 350Z. In the last video, you saw how I finished up with that financially. It owed me a little bit under 5k. I'd like to see at least 6k for it if I sell it. If I swap it, of course, that means the value of what I swap into should be around the 6k mark also. So an example of some of the cars that I've been offered, first of all, we had a 2004 Range Rover LPG conversion, so it's a 4.4 V8 with an LPG conversion. What was interesting about this truck is it had a 2012 facelift on it, which of course looks great, but ultimately it's still a 2004 Range Rover, and any of you guys who've had these old L322 Range Rovers know that they are not famed for their reliability. I've had a couple of them and I can say I don't really want to get involved in another one. To be honest, I'd put the value of that car at about 2.5k on a good day, even with the facelift. So for me, that was a no-go. I couldn't do that deal. Next, we had a multi-car offer. So someone wanted to swap several cars for the 350. Now that sounds interesting when you say it quickly, but these cars, for one reason or another, they don't stack up either. So I'll tell you about those. The first one was a Hyundai Terracan, which is sort of a large Hyundai 4x4. Interesting enough truck, and once upon a time that sort of stuff was my bread and butter, Japanese 4x4s. But this one, I mean, I'd put the value of that at around 1,200 quid. It wasn't a big dollar car. So on top of that, the guy also had a Cooper S, a Mini Cooper S. Again, potentially interesting, but for me, it was a no-go. It done over 100k. It looked all right. It had some JCW skirts and things like that on it. But again, I would put the value at about 1,000 to 1,500 quid on a good day. So again, not a huge value item. And the third car in that package was a Mazda MX-5. Now that was a Mark II MX-5, so probably the least loved of the MX-5s. If it had been a clean Mark I, it would have been interesting, but it was a Mark II in that sort of hazy seafoam green colour, which isn't, well, it's not something I favour, but, you know, trying to look beyond that. Again, the value of that car, probably around £1,500, £1,600 mark. So all in all, that little bundle was somewhere between 3 and 4k, so really not where I need to be in terms of a swap deal on the 350, so that didn't happen. The next vehicle I was offered was, on paper, interesting, but for one reason or another, again, it didn't stack up. So this was a 5-litre V10 VW Touareg. A pretty cool car, and this guy had done some sort of bodywork and things to it to make it look like, I can't remember what he said now, it was a replica of like an R50 or something. Hadn't done huge miles for one of those, 112,000 miles, but for me, it wasn't exciting enough. So I really have to work on the figures alone. And the value of that truck was about 4.5k, I would have said. And bear in mind, we're talking about doing a straight swap here. So to swap the 350 against that would have been a backwards move. I don't think I could have got any cash out of the guy because he just wanted to do a straight swap deal, get out of his and into this. So yeah, potentially an interesting truck. It did look quite cool. Did I make the right decision? Who knows? But for me, I felt it wasn't the right move. After that, and this I think has been the most interesting swap offer I've had so far, was a 2007 BMW 335i with the M Sport kit. It was a factory fitted M Sport kit, so better than some of these retrofits. Hadn't done huge miles, 90k. Bottom line, I put that car around 5.5k value. The guy said it was all good. had a couple of minor niggles, knocks and things in the drivetrain and suspension, and I'm thinking, well, I could potentially add value by fixing those, but it needs to have a lot lower value on it for the basis of the swap. And again, this guy was talking in terms of a straight swap, so I haven't completely rejected that one at the moment. I'm still sort of thinking about the figures on that, but for me at the moment, I think I'm gonna pass. But things could change. I know a lot of you guys in the comments have said about getting involved in some BMWs and some Mercs and stuff like that, so maybe that's something you'd like to see. I should add, it was a convertible, and obviously this time of year, probably not the best stock to be having, but I'll be interested to hear what you think about that. Let me know, would a 335i convertible be the thing to do? Should I be getting involved in something like that? For now, as I say, that's on ice. I haven't said a definite no, but I'm not really feeling it. And finally, interesting swap, but definitely not for me, was a Honda CBR 1000RR Fireblade. So I have a bike license, I have a bike. I'm not against bikes in any way, but for this channel I didn't think it was the right move. Also, the value of that bike, I looking into it, I mean, I can't say I'm an expert, but looking into it, it's about 2.5, 3k, something like that. Really a lot less than the 350. Now, I think I could have got some cash out of that guy as well, but really we're in the same situation. You know, Christmas is around the corner, we're in the middle of winter. Do I want to have a 1000cc superbike in stock with regards to trying to sell it or swap it to make a profit or to climb the ladder and trade up? I don't think it's the right move. It'd be interesting to do some bike stuff on this channel, but I think for the purpose of Chop to the Top, trading up from a really, really cheap car to a supercar, I think it would be interesting if we could keep it on 4 wheels throughout. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm being unfair, but that is where I'm at the moment. So those are 5 swap offers. Now that has only been, I've just looked through my emails, and that was within the last 3 weeks. So I'm getting lots of interest. But as I say, finding someone with the cash who just wants to come and have a look at the car and buy it, you know, give me money for it rather than a deal. That's ideally what I want. Now, I can work on the price for someone, but they have to be stood in front of me and they have to like the car. They have to be talking sense. I've got a lot of people asking what I'd take for it without coming to see it, and I don't know about you guys, but I can't stand that. Come and see the car, see if it's as described, see if you like it, and then we can talk about an offer. Don't make offers remotely, it's ridiculous. I understand people who say, you know, if I travel lots of miles to see this car, will you take anything off the price? Because if not, I'm not going to bother coming. Fine, I get that. But no one's even had the brains to say that so far. So at the moment, finding a cash buyer, which of course would be ideal, has been very difficult. Chop to the Top is still on, we're still moving forward, and the goal is still in place. A lot of you guys have commented and asked questions, you know, what's happening, where's the next episode? Hopefully this has given some answers to that. I can't say what the next vehicle would be, because as I say, at the moment it looks likely we're going to have to swap out the 350 into the next vehicle. If I could sell the 350, as I say, I'd like to see a minimum of 6k for it, but in a perfect world, 6.5, 7k would be ideal. I'm trying to think, what could I be looking at that I can add value to that's going to be around the 6 to 7k mark? I've got a few ideas, but I know a lot of you who are following this have also got some decent ideas, so I'd be very, very grateful. If you want to give me some help, let me know what you think would be a suitable vehicle to buy next, and what sort of thing can I be doing to it. I mean, obviously I have to add value to these vehicles. Generally speaking, that's just tidying up rough edges, making sure they perform right, servicing them properly, things like that. But we're getting higher and higher in Chop to the Top now, and we're getting better all the time. So I think it'd be interesting to do some modifications, you know, add something to a vehicle to try and increase its value, as well as just sorting out what's wrong with it. So if you're thinking about what I can get next and you want to let me know, fantastic, thank you very much. If you also want to tell me what you think I should be doing to those cars, I would really be grateful. I'll take any advice and any help I can get. Obviously I'll keep making these videos and keep pushing forward until we get to a supercar. I appreciate all of you for watching the videos so far and for checking in and seeing how the series is going. It's fantastic that we've got the traction we have so far. So yes, please stay tuned. If you're not already subscribed, please do think about subscribing. I checked my analytics the other day, and 90-something% of people who view these videos aren't subscribed, which is a bit gutting. So if you are watching this and you're not subscribed, please consider it at least. If you do want to subscribe, it helps me out, it helps the channel grow, and it means I can make more and more videos, and hopefully we can get to that supercar a little bit quicker. So yes, once again, thank you so much for tuning in, checking this out. There is another episode coming as soon as possible, but full disclosure, I haven't sold the 350 yet. That's where we are, but it is advertised. I will continue to push, and I'll get that video created as soon as I possibly can. Thank you ever so much, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.